Alright, back on our bike. We're gonna work on the brakes now. So we left off last night. That was dragging pretty heavily, tearing up brake pads. So one thing we can check to see if the master cylinder is sticking. So you want to look down here at the piston right down in here. And you make sure that you got clearance on the push rod right there, and make sure the plunger is coming all the way back to your snap ring. So if you look in there real close, you'll see the snap ring in there, right there. You'll see that sucker, and you want to make sure the piston comes right back to it. So if it comes back to it, you're good. See, we're getting closer in there. Looks like it's coming back pretty good to me. So I don't think that's sticking in there. So the way the master cylinder works, there's two holes, and there's a feed hole in the back and a pressure hole in the front. If the piston never comes back, which is basically a rubber cup, and uncover that pressure hole, it holds pressure in the system. It has to come back far enough to open up that hole, and then the excess pressure will dump into the reservoir up in here. And it relieves all your pressure. If you don't have relief of that pressure, then the brake stays on all the time. They also make a valve that goes in and holds pressure in there. That's 2, 5, 10 pounds, whatever you need for drum brake applications, but not disc brake. Disc brakes you want to release freely with no dragging. Otherwise it burns up your brake pads like this bike did. Okay, so we're going to have a mess right now. So we're going to need probably a 9/16 wrench. So we got to find some wrenches over here. We're going to need an Allen, which should be this one right here. There's a 9/16. So alright, that should be able to get what we need for now. And that'll get the caliper off the bike anyway. So I got a new kit here. I had one in stock luckily. So it's 4 pistons, so you got 4 rubbers. These two here, we can split the caliper apart between the 2 caliper halves, and I guess it's got some fancy ass grease stuff to assemble with. I usually just use brake fluid. It appears somebody maybe tighten that down. Not sure how that happened. Yeah. See how Loctite does work. Okay, now these little screws on the side. Might as well undo those right now when we get access. So these hold the caliper together, these 4. So this is 4 bolts on the side to hold the actual caliper together. See, these 2 hold the caliper to the bracket. These 4 here hold the caliper together. And this here is your banjo bolt. Take that off. So pop these free right now so it's easier to do it than on a workbench when I'm fighting it. I'm going to take this thing all apart and get all the pistons out. We just want to break these free, but still leave them in there. You'll see why in a couple minutes why I want to do that. See, this one's kind of buried under there. Need more torque. There we go. Brake line's in the way. Okay, I'm going to collect all the puke right here. Puke collector. Loose. I'm going to replace the brake fluid here also because this brake's been dragging, so I'm sure it's been cooking the brake fluid. better just to swap it all out right now, screw with it. Dirty brake fluid will cause corrosion too, so we already have enough problems with sticking parts. Keep that up there and it won't let fluid drip out of it all the time. Okay. Already dirty. So now I got to pull the cotter key out that I just got done putting in there, and see the damage from my finger yesterday. It tried to eat me. Somebody went to a really good job to bend that thing over there so it won't ever come out again. So now I actually want to come out again. Ah. We will be needing a new cotter key this time. Yeah, the pads are already getting worn in. Okay, so now I can get this thing taken apart. We can get these pistons out of here. You can see how they're already shoved way in there, so we gotta get them out. So there's an easy way of doing that. So it's called, you take a rubber tip air nozzle and you blow in that hole right there and it'll pop that sucker out in a heartbeat. What you gotta do is keep your fingers out of here because it will do damage to your fingers. So stick a little piece of something in there so it doesn't eat the pistons up when they hit each other. It'll also catch some of the puke that's going to be coming out of there. Here's the pop. And we only got one that came out. Hoping for more. It's a one-time only deal. So this one here came out. That didn't move, and this one popped out slightly. Whoa. It's puking everywhere. So now we're going to have to try to get that out further with something else. There. These are my piston ring expanders. So these will get inside the cup and kind of rotate a little bit. Helps a little bit, but limited. Okay, we'll go ahead and take this apart the rest of the way. Jeez. This feels rough. One O-ring took off. Okay. So we take our pliers here, stick them in the piston and just rotate. Pull out as you do it, and it comes out. Good. Came out pretty good. This one doesn't want to come out. It's coming though. There we go. Popped out. Okay, so now we get all this apart. You pull these O-rings out of here. Need a little pick to do that. Little seal pick works pretty good. That's what they make this tool for. Just go in there, get underneath the edge. You pull it on out. Nice rectangular section. You know, if these are still nice and soft, you can probably reuse this stuff. They weren't leaking, it was just sticking. Probably just take all this stuff apart and put it back together again. So if we did lose the O-ring, it went flying somewhere. Not sure where it went to. This one feels a little harder. Okay. There's our bolt. There's one of these little O-rings right there. So the other one bounced somewhere over there. It went that way. Alright. So this all needs to be cleaned up. It won't hurt to break the bleeder, get the bleeder broken free also. Okay, so I'm going to go back and clean all this off. You clean off with soap and water, works pretty good. And then you'll find a water rinse. It gets everything away. You can do solvent, gasoline on here to cut the oil and stuff off, but make sure you clean it with soap and water. You can't have any of that petroleum product left over, it'll destroy the rubber parts. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up really good. Make them look pretty. I'm going to take these pistons and do the same thing. I'll take a little bit of a scrub pad and scrub them a little bit just to get all the burrs off. I can feel the burrs here and there on there. No wear marks. So we'll clean all this stuff up and we'll be back.